Hi, this is Eddie Wilson. That ain't Tesla like a TI is. And if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Topic I'm going to talk to you today about is Housewives Tea. In this video of Housewives Tea, I'll be talking about Quad being on Watch What Happens Live and also on Sherri Shepered doing a little promotional interview uh, before uh, before the season before the mid-season trailer came out last week. Also, we'll be talking about the interview. Yeah, that she did. Also, we'll be talking about. Also, we'll be talking about the interview that Mary Crosby did with Vulture magazine before Reunion Part Two. I also will be talking about um, the fashion looks for the Real Housewives of Potomac for the reunion, and also the mid season trailer, and then the second video on celebrity on Housewives Tea will be all about Atlanta, and that's all I have. That's all the topics I'm going to be talking about in this video. Like I said, also, yeah, like I said, I didn't mention it, but also last month, Mia had announced that she had went back with Gordon. She got back with Gordon, and she was saying the reason why she got back with Gordon, she wanted to be back home with her family. Uh, I don't believe that. I think that I always said it. She just used ink for a storyline to keep on the stuff. I think she realized that by her getting all that backlash from other people and the fans and stuff, that she decided to change her mind and stuff like that. And she also said on the same interview with Coy that her and Ink are no longer together. And then she also kind of hinted at it in the article that her and Ink had broke up. And like I said, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't shocked or anything like that about her and Ink breaking up. And then, like I said, her and Quad was on Watch What Happens Live, but also Quad was on Sherri Shepered. And when Quad did her little interview with Sherri Shepered introduced her. Hey, say, hey, Miss Quad. Say, you looking good, Miss Quad. She had on like a color black dress with black and yellow and all kind of stuff on it. And she had some little boots, and they went to sit down. And then after that, she said, "Yeah, I heard you been on Married to Message. I'm glad you're back on the show. I'm glad you're back on the show." She said, "I'm glad I'm back on the show too." She said, "You really glowing. You really glowing, Quad. What's going on? What's going on? Are you glowing because you're happy? Or are you glowing because you got a new man?" She said, "Well, I'm glowing because I got a new man. His name is King. He's in the audience." And then the camera pan to King in the audience. He's waving and stuff. And said, ooh, yeah, he's a catch. He said, yeah, I know it. And then she said, what's been going on with the show? What's been happening with the show? She said, he's a very, she said, King is a very loving and supportive man. That's why he's here right now. He's supporting. She said, yeah. She said, what's going on about the show? Talk about the show. She said, well, this is going to be happening on the show. It was like my ex-husband came on there and said something out of the way to me, and King defended me, and King defended me. King was on my side. Said, oh, you're a man like that? She said, yeah. King don't have no mind. King don't have no problem checking people. Sometimes he have to check me. She got laughing and said, ooh, that's good, that's good. That's what's going to happen on the next episode of the show. She said, yeah, she said, yeah. That was on Sherri Shepered. And he said, ooh, show his picture, show his picture. And Sherri Shepered, I had a picture of him with a towel wrapped around him. That was one of the scenes where Mel Smith said, "Ooh, don't he look good on him?" She said, "Ooh, he do look good, Sherri. Ooh, he do look good. Now, you got you a good man right there." And then that was all I saw, the little clip. I saw that, I think, on YouTube. Anyway, she was on Watch What Happens Live. I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday. But anyway, she was on Watch What Happens Live. And Andy Cohen kind of introduced them. He said there's a lady there's a I wrote some notes down, but I didn't write the whole introduction. And and he said, yeah, he just introduced them, and then, and then, and then he said, oh, Mia, you said that Ink is not a DJ, he's a radio personality, and Cora looked kind of funny. And then he introduced that some Asian guy that had an EP out and stuff. He was at the bar. And then he said, oh, Miss Cora, Miss Cora. I said, yeah, Miss Cora. I said, you seem happy. He said, yeah. He said, Miss Cora, you're not the only one in this thing, Miss Cora. I'm going to introduce your new friend, King. And he said, yeah, King and Art, King and Art. He was in Art. He said, Cora, you really look happy. Are you happy? She said, yeah, I'm happy. And I'm real happy. He said, you look like it. And it shows. And then so Mia said, "Oh, that's a good man right there." He said, and then Cora said, "Don't you know I know that? I know a good man when I see one." And then so next thing you know, Andy asked, uh, 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 yes, and then he asked King. He said, "King, why are you here?" He said, "I'm just here. I'm just here to support my girl. Just here to support my girl." Same thing he said on Sherri. And then after that, he said, he said, he said, Quad, did Phaedra really write that check or was she said, yeah, she really did write that check. He said, why y'all say she didn't write the check? She said, and it's like this. It's like this, you know, you write out a check and then you tell that person, don't cash that check until July. She wrote the check out, but she didn't want them to cash the check until July. And so she actually paid it in July. He said, yeah. She said, it's those kind of checks ending. So she really wrote a post-dated check. Instead of them saying she wrote a post-dated check, they're gonna try to say she didn't pay it all. There's a lot of people write post-dated checks, so I don't know what Carl was talking about. But anyway, he said, "Oh, I'm glad, I'm glad." And then Mia said that she knew. So he asked Mia about, about Karen's situation, what about the bill? And Mia said, "I'm sorry." And he said, me and you also said Karen should have been here. Mia said, I'm sorry. I did know Karen had a jigger problem. Nobody else didn't think Karen had jigger, but she said, I already knew. She said, I'm just glad that Karen is getting the help that she needs and stuff like that. And she said, if Karen would have been more transparent, she wouldn't have been in this situation. And it looked kind of funny. What's called looked kind of funny. And then so and then so uh Quad jumped in, Quad chimed in, and she said, I hope if she come back or when she come back, and then kind of running, I hope y'all don't be too hard on Karen, too hard on Karen. She said, no, we're not gonna be too hard on Karen. I'm glad Karen is in rehab. I'm glad Karen is getting the help that she needs. And she said, Annie, I'm gonna ask you a question. That was very, very sad to watch that video on TV. It was just so sad when I already knew all along that Karen, and I was saying, well, yeah, Mia did say that. Mia did say that, so Mia saw something that everybody else didn't see. But anyway, um, but anyway, he asked her, he asked Mia, what did she think about going, talking about the paternity stuff with Ray? She said she didn't like that. She said, why would guys go back and tell another guy what they discussed about his wife? And then Cora said, well, we do it. We go back and tell our husband what we discuss with the ladies. So why you have a problem with it? And then so Andy said, Mia, he said, Mia, we're gonna play a game about what did you lie about. And so they played the game about what did she lie about. And she told Andy, that she didn't lie, that she was surprised about the maternity test that what's called gave, and it was in-home test, and and uh she talking about she didn't trust that. And Cora said, yeah, I've been through that home stuff. She said, after my brother died, it was so many girls came around trying to say my brother got them pregnant stuff. So what I did one of those home DNA tests and I swallowed it. She said, just like a home pregnancy test, me and me said, well, I still didn't trust her. She said, but you still got to send both of them to the lab. Or, what you go in the lab and do it, and what you do it, or what you do it at home. And she said, well, yeah, that's why I didn't trust her. That's why I wanted him to do it all alone, to go to the lab. And she said, but you still gonna get the same results. So Cora was telling, she said, well, I didn't know that, Cora. I didn't know that, Cora. And so she said, he said, did you lie about the paternity test? She said, no, I wanted him to go to lab. He said, did you lie about that? Having a threesome with people while you're married? She said, no. And then Kawhi said, ooh, you kind of out there with me and stuff. And then so that's when Mia jumped up and said, well, I know men with Gordon's relationship is unordinary to some people, to some ordinary people. And then some Andy gonna say, ordinary people, what do you mean by ordinary people? And Kawhi said, well, I'm not ordinary. I'm extraordinary, according to me. And then Andy just popping up, Kawhi, yeah, Kawhi is that girl, Kawhi is that girl, Kawhi is that girl. I said, yeah, you popping her up right now. But if something happened, you throw Kawhi to the wind, just like the rest of the people. She wasn't on the show. And so she said, well, since you want me to clarify, I was talking about Ray and Karen. They seem ordinary to me. They're not unordinary like me, and they're not extraordinary like Cora. And so Cora she had to kind of backtrack that a little bit. And then I clicked it off. I clicked it off after they had the thing about them naming the drag queens. But before that, Andy played a game with Claude. Andy played a game with Claude about what did she think about our castmates. And she said Dr. Jackie should have some more fun. She said Phaedra should stop. She said Heavenly should stop talking, and he said Heavenly need to try to stop talking about the people. He said Heavenly need to stop talking at all. And I was saying, ooh, the way he said it in his voice, the furry in his voice. He said the same thing when Heavenly was on the show. He said, well, Heavenly, you know, you keep saying stuff and stuff about certain people and sweet tea and stuff, and then you forgive. He said, but you gotta move on. You gotta move on. So when she said she Heavenly needs to stop talking about the end, wholeheartedly agreed. And he had that. He had like that. What you call he had like a seriousness to his voice. But she said, yeah, she needs to stop talking. He said, yeah, she needs to stop talking. She needs to stop talking. She needs to stop talking, and all she needs to stop talking. It was like, boy, it was like, Andy was serious about that. Kawhi looked kind of funny. And then after that, she said, Fergie should stop lying. She said, Simone should start reading the room and not saying everything that she thinking before she say it. I said, you right about that part, Cora, because Simone just be saying anything out of my kind of like hippie. And then she said, what about Toya? She said, to me, I really don't have no problem with Toya. He said, what about Contessa? He said, she said, people don't understand Contessa. Contessa need to follow through with what you say and do. That's the only thing. And then it got to the last part. They said, what about sweet tea? And she said, huh? What? She got out quiet. He said, what about sweet tea? What's about sweet tea? I had some tea earlier today, and I didn't like it, and it was bitter. And so he said, so what's your answer? Oh, he said, oh, your answer is bitter. And I was saying, Sweet Tea ain't done nothing to this girl. And I was saying, all these Quad fans, every time she do interviews, she dog Sweet Tea, dog Sweet Tea, dog Sweet Tea. But y'all wanted to have this narrative that Sweet Tea Sweet Tea is mean and she's crazy and she's all outdoors every time she tries to speak up for herself. And I'm looking at, here's actually a simple question. If you didn't have no problem with Sweet Tea, all you gotta say, well, I don't have no problem with her, like you said with Toya, but you do have a problem with her and stuff like that. And that's why I've been trying to, say my little piece, on Twitter and what you call, but it's like like I said, these core fans are so delusional, and she didn't have to say it. She didn't want to say nothing nice, like I said, you don't got nothing nice to say about nobody, don't say nothing at all. That was good, watch what happens live video. And like I said, the reunion looks, I liked it all. Reunion looks, it was like a gold and silver, metallic type of style. Now my three favorite ones, I went back and forth, but I went back and forth so many times. But I think my three favorite ones are Giselle, Wendy, and Kiana to me. And then after that, I liked it Stacy, and then I liked it Jazzy, Mia and no, not Mia, yeah, Jacqueline was in my top five. So it was Jacqueline, and Mia was the last one because Mia had the worst look. And so to me, I would give Kiana and Ashley a tie for a third now, and then I'll still keep Mia at the end. I'll put that in the video. That's all I have in this video. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. I am